All right, let's jump into today's deep dive. Get ready to decode some serious SEO magic.
We're talking about making your website Google's new best friend, right?
Exactly. We're breaking down episode 26 of Pasted Text, all about essential optimization techniques.
Think of this as your cheat sheet for getting your website noticed.
We're all about actionable advice here, ready to unlock those secrets to ranking higher.
Absolutely. And remember, building a solid SEO strategy happens step by step. Today, we're going back to basics, the foundation.
First step, crawlability. Imagine Google's like this digital explorer mapping out your website.
You want to make it super easy for them to discover everything, right? Think clear pathways, no dead ends.
No more hiding our best content behind some crazy code then.
Exactly. The source really stresses simple text-based links for every single page.
So Google can follow those links, like breadcrumbs, leading them to all the good stuff.
Exactly. It's like creating a map, clear trails to your hidden treasures.
Okay, so we're talking about a flat, easy to navigate structure, right? Why is that so crucial?
Imagine walking into a bookstore looking for a specific book. You want to find it fast, right?
Nobody wants to spend hours wandering aimlessly.
Exactly. A well-organized store with clear sections, that's like a flat website hierarchy.
Easy to browse, easy to understand.
Now, compare that to a massive bookstore, tons of floors, hidden corners, a million different categories.
It's like getting lost in a labyrinth.
And frustrating for both shoppers and, you guessed it, search engines.
Makes sense a confused visitor is more likely to click away.
And that's a big no-no for SEO.
Speaking of getting lost, the source mentioned siloed content. What's that all about?
Okay, so picture this. You've poured your heart into this amazing blog post. It's insightful, valuable, the works.
But nobody's reading it, right? Why?
Because it's buried deep within your site, like a castaway on a desert island. No links leading to it, no signs, nothing.
Even the best content can't work its magic if nobody can find it.
Exactly. Search engines might not even know it exists. So how do we fix that?
Build bridges, connect that content to the rest of your site.
You got it. Make sure it's properly linked within the main structure of your website. No more isolated islands.
Solid advice. Okay, let's talk about something I've always found kind of mysterious. URLs.
What, those strings of letters and slashes?
Exactly. They seem like an afterthought, but the source stressed their importance.
They're more critical than you might think. Think of them as street addresses for your web pages.
They tell people where they are and what to expect.
Exactly. Instead of a random jumble of characters, use clear descriptive language. So instead of, say, website.com/product ID 4728.
You'd have something like website.com/t-shirts, men's red death striped.
Now you're getting it. The
Yeah.
source gave an example, actually. Clothing.com/men's pants denim jeans.
Okay, I see. It tells a mini story about the page. It's user-friendly.
It just looks way more professional.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Now let's talk first impressions, those snippets that pop up in search results. You know, the title and short description.
You mean the make or break factor for whether someone clicks or keeps scrolling?
Exactly. Those are our title tags and meta descriptions, right?
Spot on. And the source nailed it when they said it's like a book cover. You want to instantly grab attention.
It's like micro copywriting with major impact. What are the key things to keep in mind?
Every single page needs its own unique title and description. Reflect the content, use keywords naturally, and make people want to click.
Got it. So it's about being clear, using relevant keywords, and adding a touch of intrigue. Now, what about those elements that break up a wall of text and tell readers and search engines what's important?
You mean those trusty heading tags from H1 to H6?
The ones that signal hierarchy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like chapter titles and subheadings in a book, they help organize your content. They're like road signs, guiding both humans and those Google bots through your website.
So beyond just aesthetics, we're giving Google a roadmap highlighting those key takeaways.
Exactly. And when you're crafting those headings, think clarity above all else. Your H1 tag should perfectly reflect the main topic of the page.
And those subheadings should be concise, engaging, and really capture the essence of the section.
Absolutely. No more generic phrases like about us, get creative.
Love it. Now let's shift gears to something we often overlook, images. They make websites visually appealing, but how do we make sure search engines understand what they're about?
That's where alt text comes in those short descriptions that act like subtitles for your images.
It's like we're painting a picture with words for those who can't see the image.
You got it. The source really stressed adding alt text for every image.
Can't hurt, right?
Not at all. It helps search engines understand the context of the image and makes your website more accessible to visually impaired users.
It's a win-win. The source also mentioned some really powerful SEO tools. They highlighted Google Webmaster Tools, which has been renamed Google Search Console now.
Right. It's like having X-ray vision into how Google sees your site.
Tell me more.
You can see what keywords people are using to find you, track your click-through rates from those search results, and even submit your sitemap directly to Google.
It's like getting a backstage pass to Google's inner workings. And they also mentioned a tool called Screaming Frog SEO Spider.
Now that one's a real gem. Imagine a team of digital detectives combing through every nook and cranny of your website.
Looking for clues.
Exactly. They're sniffing out broken links, analyzing your title tags and meta descriptions, checking your website structure, you name it.
It sounds pretty intense.
It's thorough, that's for sure. But the best part, Screaming Frog has a free version, perfect for smaller websites or if you're just dipping your toes into the SEO world.
That's incredibly helpful. So to recap, from crawlability and clear website architecture to crafting those compelling title tags and optimizing those often overlooked images, it seems like SEO really is all about those details.
It's true, those little things add up. But remember, all those technical elements we've been discussing, they're all in service of a bigger goal. Building a website that people genuinely enjoy using.
Because what good is a high ranking if people click away the second they land on your site?
Exactly. You could have the best SEO in the world, but if your website is confusing, slow, or irrelevant, it's game over.
It's like having this beautiful storefront, but forgetting to actually make the door easy to open.
100%. SEO is about finding that sweet spot where you're search engine friendly and human friendly. Great content, intuitive design, clear navigation, it all matters.
It's about guiding your visitors seamlessly through their online journey. And that means understanding what they're looking for in the first place.
You got it. Think about your target audience. What are they searching for? What are their questions, their pain points? How can your website provide the answers and solutions they need?
It's about becoming a trusted guide, not just another website lost in the sea of search results.
Exactly. When you create content that truly resonates with your audience, addresses their needs, and positions you as the expert, that's when the magic happens.
It's about building a connection, going beyond those algorithms and rankings. Now, before we move on, I remember the source touching on the importance of sitemaps. What exactly is a sitemap, and why is it so crucial for SEO?
Think of a sitemap as a blueprint of your website. It shows search engines how your content is structured, how all those pages are connected.
Like a map for Google to navigate our website.
Precisely. It's like handing Google a table of contents for your entire website, making it super easy for them to crawl and index all those valuable pages you've worked so hard to create.
And the source mentioned using both HTML and XML sitemaps. What's the difference?
It's like having two versions of your blueprint. One for humans, one for those digital robots. They serve slightly different purposes, but both are beneficial.
So we're keeping both humans and search engines happy. Now, what about this robots.txt file? Sounds kind of intimidating.
Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Imagine you have certain areas of your website that you don't want search engines to access, like, say, administrative areas or pages that are still under construction.
Places we don't want Google snooping around.
Exactly. That's where robots.txt comes in. It's like a set of instructions, a do not enter sign for certain parts of your website.
So we can control what Google sees and what it doesn't.
Exactly. And you can use that to potentially boost your SEO because you're focusing Google's attention on the pages that truly matter to your audience.
It's like being a curator, guiding visitors to the most important exhibits in your online museum.
I love that analogy. Now, before we wrap up this section, there's one crucial thing to remember. SEO is not a one-time fix. It's not something you do once and then forget about.
So we can't just optimize our website and expect to stay at the top of the search results forever.
I wish it were that easy. The online world is constantly changing. New algorithms, updates, even user behavior, it's a moving target.
So how do we keep up? It sounds pretty overwhelming.
It definitely takes efforts, but that's also what makes SEO so dynamic and interesting. You have to be willing to adapt, to experiment, to constantly learn and evolve your strategy.
It's like tending to a garden for. You need to nurture it, make adjustments as needed, and adapt to the changing seasons.
Exactly. SEO is an ongoing process. You need to keep monitoring your website's performance, analyzing your data, and tweaking your approach based on what's working and what's not. It's all about staying informed, testing new things, and always being ready to learn and adapt your SEO game plan.
So it's not just about ticking those technical boxes.
Nope. We can't forget the human element, how people actually search for things online.
Right. Because people don't always search in the most straightforward way, do they?
Exactly. And search engines are getting smarter at figuring out what someone really wants, even if their search terms are a bit vague.
So how do we tap into that human element as we fine-tune our SEO?
Instead of just fixating on keywords, think about those underlying questions, those challenges your audience is facing.
What are their pain points? What solutions are they looking for?
Exactly. How can your website become that go-to source for answers?
It's about being that trusted guide, not just another website lost in the search results.
100%. Create content that truly speaks to your audience, addresses their questions, builds that sense of expertise.
Content that resonates, that makes them think, this website gets me.
Exactly. Because the ultimate goal isn't just to get people to your site, but to keep them coming back for more.
It's about building that long-term relationship, that loyal following.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up this SEO deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you really want listeners to remember?
Ooh, good question. What is the one golden nugget of wisdom they should take away?
SEO is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about continuous learning, adapting, and really being committed to creating a website that truly serves your audience.
Love that. Embrace the journey, experiment, and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's about finding that sweet spot where technical optimization meets genuine human connection, right?
You nailed it. It's about speaking to your audience's hearts and minds while making sure Google can find you too.
It's a balancing act for
Yeah.
sure. But when it all comes together, it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And that sense of accomplishment, of seeing your website thrive, that's the real reward.
That's all the SEO wisdom we have for you today. So go forth, optimize, and remember.
Keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep that human connection at the heart of everything you do online.
Great advice. Until next time, happy optimizing, everyone.